All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're diving into a hidden force, one that pretty much dictates what you eat, what you crave, and what you absolutely love. It's not just about taste and smell. Nope. We're about to explore this whole other dimension of food that's all about the feel. Okay, so think about it for a second. What's your absolute hands-down favorite food? Maybe a super juicy burger, some rich, creamy ice cream, or a perfectly crisp apple. You probably think it's the flavor that you love, right? Well, what if I told you that's only, I don't know, maybe half the story? Because here's the secret. The thing that really hooks you, the thing that truly makes you crave that food again and again, it's not just the taste, it's the texture. That incredible crunch, that satisfying chew, that velvety creaminess, that sensation is what we're digging into today. And believe me, it is way more powerful than you think. So let's break this down. What even is food texture, really? To get why it's so important, we've got to understand what's actually happening in our mouths on like a scientific level. Because it's a lot more than just a simple feeling. You see, texture isn't just one single sense. It's more like a whole symphony of sensations happening at once. The second food hits your mouth, nerve endings all over your tongue, your cheeks, even in your teeth, they just light up. They're detecting absolutely everything simultaneously. Is it hot? Cold? What's the pressure like? What's its physical structure? And get this. This whole sensory chain reaction happens in a fraction of a second. It's this ancient, hardwired survival tool, perfectly tuned to tell our brains exactly what we're putting in our bodies. It's this super fast data stream that lets you instantly tell the difference between a crisp cracker and a soggy one, even if your eyes are closed. Now, our relationship with all that sensory data, well, it's not set in stone. The textures we love and the ones we can't stand are constantly changing. And that journey starts from the moment we are born. Our textural palate basically grows up right alongside us. For babies, studies show that the feel of a food, say a yogurt, can actually matter more than its taste or even its color. Then, when we're kids, as our jaws and teeth are still developing, we get picky. You know, that's why so many kids go through that phase, suddenly rejecting anything that's a little slimy or too fatty. And by the time we're adults, our preferences are this complex map, totally shaped by our culture and all our personal experiences. And hey, if you're still not convinced that texture is that important, listen to this. In one experiment, scientists took a bunch of common foods and just blended them into a smooth paste. With their eyes covered, fewer than half the students could even tell what they were eating. No crunch from the carrot, no distinct feel of a pear, their brains were just totally lost. We don't just prefer the feel, we actually rely on it to know what's what. But here's where it gets really interesting. What feels right to you? Well, it isn't universal at all. Our texture preferences are also deeply shaped by where we grow up, which has created this incredible world of different mouthfeels. What one culture finds disgusting, another considers a total delicacy. For example, in a lot of Western cultures, textures that are slimy, sticky, or kind of gelatinous, that's a hard pass for a lot of people. But in many Asian cuisines, those exact same qualities are not just accepted, they're celebrated. In Japan, they even have a word for it, neba-neba, which is all about that prized, sticky, sometimes stringy quality. And this idea of neba-neba opens the door to a whole world of amazing, treasured foods. We're talking about things like the unique stringiness of fermented soybeans, called natto, or the chewy snap of a jellyfish salad, the comforting stickiness of Chinese rice, even this silky coating a raw egg gives to a hot dish. That counts. These aren't flaws to be engineered out. They're the main event. Okay, so if texture is this important to us, you can bet the global food industry is paying very close attention. They've built a multi-million-dollar business around it. Because they're not just selling you flavor, they are absolutely selling you feel. Yeah, the textures you find in most processed foods, they're almost never an accident. I mean, think about the perfect, satisfying snap of a potato chip, or the ideal creaminess of a yogurt. Those feelings have been meticulously designed and engineered by people you could almost call texture architects. And one of their biggest tricks, one of their most powerful tools, is the principle of textural contrast. See, our brains just love variety. When you combine different textures in a single bite, it creates a much more satisfying, more memorable experience. It's the whole reason why bubble tea with its chewy pearls is so addictive, why cookies and cream ice cream is a classic, and why chocolate bar with crunchy nuts just works. And don't get it twisted, we are talking about a massive business here. The market for just designing and perfecting food texture, getting that crunch or that creaminess just right, is worth millions upon millions of dollars. It can literally make or break a new product. But the story doesn't end with just selling us snacks. The power of texture goes way, way beyond that. Right now, scientists are starting to use our understanding of mouthfeel to tackle some huge global challenges, everything from public health to climate change. Okay, check this out. Research is showing a direct link between a food's texture and how full it makes us feel. So solid foods make us feel much more satisfied than liquids do. But here's the crazy part. Even just making a milkshake thicker, more viscous, tricks our brain into feeling more full, and that has enormous implications for helping people manage how much they eat. So suddenly, you can see how texture becomes this incredible, versatile tool, right? It can be used to fight overeating, to help coax picky eaters into trying new things, or to help people who've lost their sense of taste or smell enjoy food again. And maybe most importantly right now, it is the absolute key to making sustainable food truly desirable. I mean, just think about it. For plant-based meats and dairy alternatives to really take off, to go fully mainstream, they have to feel right. The entire industry is basically in a race to perfectly mimic the fibrous chew of a piece of chicken or the rich, decadent creaminess of real cheese. You could say that the future of sustainable food kind of rests on the shoulders of these texture architects. And just when you think you've got it all figured out, here is one last kind of mind-bending twist for you. Texture's influence, it goes beyond the food itself. This research shows that the very cup you're drinking from can change how you perceive the taste. Just like the quote says, coffee can actually seem more acidic if you drink it from a rough-textured cup. The feel of your plate, your fork, it's all sending signals to your brain. So here's my challenge to you. The next time you eat, maybe even your very next meal, I want you to just stop and pay attention for a second. Close your eyes if you have to. What do you feel? Is it crispy, chewy, smooth, creamy? Because you're not just tasting food, you are experiencing this hidden world of texture. And now that you know about it, you might just find it's the part you love the most.